but it is so tight down there. Wigan in 15th have a 12-point deduction hanging over them. Sheffield Wednesday too have a possible points deduction to come. So as many as 10 sides still have a chance of going down. It's not much clearer at the top. Brentford, with 6 straight victories now, are hunting down an automatic promotion spot. Leeds have dropped to second, but will go top with a win and crucially have a 6-point gap to the Bees in third.
Sky Star. Don't miss this year's most highly rated movies.
This is exactly how I imagined it.
Enjoy the 5-star movies everyone is talking about.
I want to be great or nothing.
Watch the year's most celebrated movies. Available now in Sky Star.
I have never faced a season like this before, but I have never been more excited. I am sport and I am ready.
Screwfix proudly supports football at home.
One, does that show a testament to his fitness, but also, two, the fact that Bielsa keeps picking him?
Absolutely. He does exactly as Marcelo Bielsa wants in one of his central midfield players. He's got a great engine on him. He gets up and down the pitch relentlessly, consistently, right away from the beginning of the match until the end of the match. And he frees up a lot of space in there for Calvin Phillips, for Tyler Roberts as well. So if he's not in there, it doesn't quite work the same way. So, you know, for me, he's a great player. Great player, great energy.
Key player in that Leeds side.
You can identify a mole within the CIA.
The mall is out there.
I was thinking that you were done with all of that.
We're going to war. Get ready.
Well, stay with us on Sky Sports Football after the game because we have a fascinating insight into Marcelo Bielsa, the man who has led Leeds to the brink of a Premier League return. Bielsa, El Loco and Leeds features exclusive interviews with Pep Guardiola, Mauricio Pochettino and players and coaches from Bielsa's native Argentina. 7:30 tonight, Sky Sports Football. It's also available on demand. And he is there in the stands as well. What a career he's had, managing in 2 World Cups, 2 different countries, titles in Argentina. Did he really think back then that he'd go to England, West Yorkshire in particular, and become a legend in those parts? Leeds had to work for it, but they are 1-0 up against Stoke. And Joby, for 43 minutes, Stoke got the tactics absolutely spot on, didn't they? And then that foul.
Oh, it is just, you know, such a sloppy foul. You know, Helder Costa does well originally, you know, escapes the challenge, but he's going away from goal here. And Tommy Smith, I don't know what is going through his mind. Maybe it's fatigue. You know, they've been dominated in terms of not having the ball, and he's just switched off for that vital second. Again here, it's just a real reckless lunge, and Michael O'Neill will be bitterly disappointed because, as you say, they've got their tactics spot on up till that point and really had frustrated Leeds. So, you know, real soft one there. I can tell you from a defensive point of view, that is a tired fullback who's been on the back foot for 43 minutes. Pretty cool penalty, though, Jermaine, wasn't it?
Very relaxed, very relaxed. And there's a reason why Klitsch is in there taking the penalties, because he keeps a cool head. You know, it's the 44th minute. As Joby mentioned, Stoke have done everything right. There's not been many clear-cut opportunities, and he's just kept his head calm. You know, that's exactly what you want the last couple of minutes of the first half. A lot of pressure, you couldn't tell.
How did they not score before that, especially with that double chance that they had?
Wow, I'll be honest with you, it was a little bit of great defending, great goalkeeping. It was a great first touch, to be fair, from Patrick Bamford when the ball gets rolled into him. You know, he brings it under control, sets it here, he moves, gets in the box. And then that touch there, brilliant first touch, gets away from the defenders, great chip, unlucky. Tyler Roberts, brilliant, right place, right time, but, you know, it was the wrong decision in terms of what he was doing with the finish. I think he should have gone closer to the post here. He's tried to keep it low, get his body over the ball, hit it into the ground, which is technically it's the right thing to do, but you know, you've got two defenders coming at you from opposite angles. There's a big space, a big enough space to his left, the near post. So I would say keep it low, but put it in the bottom corner.
Joby, we wondered how Stoke was set up, 4-5-1 really. How do they change things in the second half?
Well, they're going to have to come out a little bit more for sure. They actually started the game quite brightly. Tyrese Campbell was getting down that right wing and getting in behind Leeds, but it seemed to take Leeds about 20 minutes or so just to suss it out. And once they did, they really did dominate the ball. So they need to release a bit further up the pitch now. You know, certainly get players into attacking areas a little bit more and take a bit more responsibility in terms of getting on the ball themselves and not letting Leeds dictate to them. And I think that's going to be a big part of their second half display.
Leeds are absolutely relentless. They've dominated that first half. Should have scored actually before they end up getting the goal. They wore Stoke down, certainly. Tommy Smith. Marcelo Bielsa happy with that finish. Second half next.
Get the story behind the story with award-winning documentaries on demand.
He was living his dream.
I saw him become a millionaire and more.
With the money came drugs.
I knew he was a nut or a con man.
This is probably the end of my life to step on that one.
She was ahead of the curve.
Fashion's not about looking back.
How could this young black person have this kind of power?
I'm on to something here.
It's so funny. That's amazing.
Award-winning documentaries. Available now on demand.
I have never faced a season like this before, but I have never been more excited. I am sport and I am ready.
A double-header in the Premier League on the Saturday night football. Both Sheffield United and Chelsea had good results midweek. Chelsea up to third, Sheffield United incredibly in seventh. What a job Chris Wilder has done. That's from 5. Tough week for Brighton, isn't it? First Liverpool, then Manchester City. Got enough points on the board, though, you would have thought, and a great job also from Graham Potter too. That's 7:45, Sky Sports main event. Well, the first half match stats show how much Leeds have dominated that first half. Stoke not getting one shot on target, just 2 touches in the opposition box, and look at expected goals, 0.09. Things have to change in the second half.
Ellen Road echoes to the sound of glory's past, but these players of today are looking to leave their own legacy by taking this club back to the Premier League. They have ripped through Stoke City. Patrick Bamford with the perfect finish to finish the job, to make it 5. And that's after Pablo Hernandez again had stepped onto the pitch and made a huge impact. He scored the 4th, also had a hand in the 3rd. In the end, in the second half, Stoke City had no answer. The final score at Ellen Road, Leeds United 5, Stoke City 0.
And Leeds United fans, your team goes back to the summit, above West Brom, more importantly, 6 points above Brentford in 3rd, a maximum of 7 points, a maximum of 7, and you are back in the Premier League for the first time in 16 years. Stoke drop a place, their goal difference worse than Charlton's now. Birmingham at home next up, and what a crucial game that is. Well, whether you're a Leeds United fan or a Stoke City fan or just a football fan in general, we've got something fascinating for you coming up after this show. Bielsa, El Loco and Leeds has exclusive interviews with Pep Guardiola, Mauricio Pochettino and players and coaches from Bielsa's native Argentina. 7:30 tonight, Sky Sports Football. It's also available on demand. Well, the game's coming thick and fast in the Sky Bet Championship, and you wouldn't be surprised if Bielsa ends up watching all of these. A double-header tomorrow, starting with a big one down the bottom, Huddersfield-Luton, 5:30, and then at 8 towards the top, Fulham-Cardiff, who currently hold that 6th place. Big one for both Derby and Brentford and what they're chasing. That's on Saturday at midday, and we finish off on Sunday with Stoke again. They face Birmingham, 1:25. Big game that one, isn't it, for Michael O'Neill's men? All on Sky Sports Football. And Sky Documentaries offers a 5-part docu-series about the varying perspectives of addicts, dealers and police officials in the trade. All episodes available now. Well, the match stats pretty much say it all. Leeds absolutely dominant. 19 attempts, 11 on target, 535 successful passes is the most they've had this season. And look at Stoke as well. Not one shot on target with 28% possession. 5-0 does not flatter Leeds at all. It is their biggest win since September 2017. 1-0 just before half-time. How crucial was 2-0 as well to pretty much kill the game off?
Well, do you know what? It was vital. Stoke should have come out the second half and completely shut up shop, taking into account they'd gone a goal behind right before half-time. But, you know, there was some really bad defending from James Chester there. Helder Costa hesitated. He thought Chester was going to be a lot closer to him than he was. He attempted to cut the ball back, but you know, let's not take away from the finish. A little cheeky little toe poke right in the far corner shows a level of confidence that signing a permanent long-term deal can do for a player.
I was just about to say, just days after making it permanent, £15 million.
Yeah, but for me, again, it's the timing of the goals. You know, 2 minutes before half-time, you know, disappointing to concede that, and then you want to come out in that second half and start strong and give yourself a chance to get back in. Switched off, again, a substitute, probably wasn't quite tapped into the game as he should have been. You know, from there, it's a real uphill battle. Again, credit to Leeds for finishing the chance, but for me, way too easy in terms of giving them that opportunity.
So let's talk about 3-0 and Liam Cooper's goal. We'll talk about the finish in just a second, but Pablo Hernandez, when he's on the pitch, he's so clever, isn't he?
He is. He's brilliant. He sees things that not a lot of other players see. You know, as we've seen here, he switched the play from the far left touchline. Look at his movement here, right across the 18-yard box, into space. Nobody's following him. That's the kind of player, you can't give these type of players that much time and space. He picks out Liam Cooper, and, you know, Liam Cooper on the back foot, on his strong foot as well, managed to put the ball into the back of the net, in off the post. Joby was saying with his heel.
Communication here. I'm looking at it from a defensive point of view. If we're analysing a goal from a defence, we can talk about how good it was from Hernandez, but who's giving that information? You know, left shoulder, right shoulder, who's picking him up? He gets into the box unmarked, their danger man, and for me, again, unacceptable from a defensive point of view. And there's two sides to it. You know, of course, we marvel at Leeds and how well they did, but that is a big reason why Stoke are where they are, switching off defensively, lapses of concentration, and ultimately you cannot win games if you defend like that. Again,
Touching on what Joby was mentioning there, the lack of communication. Even though Hernandez gets to the byline, he cuts the ball back. Who's marking Cooper? You know, he's free inside the 18-yard box, 12 yards out. A free shot on target. I'd love to have one of those.
Could still do that now, I'm sure. Yeah. What about Hernandez then for 4?
Oh, unbelievable. Again, listen, he is a match winner. We've seen it on many occasions, you know, with his assists and his goal contributions. But here, again, Helder Costa, brilliant finish this. It probably looks a bit easier than it is, but the concentration to keep it on target, but hit with enough power to beat Jack Butland, it's a really, really good finish, man. And, you know, one that I'm certainly delighted that he scored, because there's a lot talking about his assists, and, you know, that's clearly a big part of his game, but it's really nice to get on the score sheet. Good
awareness from Patrick Bamford there, just doing the step over.
Absolutely. I just wanted to touch on that as well, because as much as I loved the finish and the cutback from Costa, I think Patrick Bamford's movement creates a whole load of space for him, for Hernandez to be able to have that time to set the ball into the bottom corner. So massive heads up. Look, he's a lovely little dummy run there as well, and that's something that almost gets overlooked.
Well, you spoke about that a lot during the game, and the work he does a lot of the time that goes unrecognised. Yeah. And there's a lot said about maybe he doesn't score enough goals. But again, something you noticed in the game, his movement is creating space for other players to come and get involved.
We'll come on to that in just a second. Let's talk about his goal first, because how important is it? Strikers are judged on goals, not necessarily, to be fair, by Marcelo Bielsa, because he keeps playing Patrick Bamford, but 16 of the season. And how important was this one for him tonight?
Do you know what? Vitally important. I like everything about what he did there. Luke Ayling, great pass right over the right centre half there. Patrick Bamford slows his stride down, watches the ball, watches the flight of the ball, watches the bounce of the ball. Timing is perfect, and the finish is impeccable, right into the far bottom corner.
So let's talk about his performance then.
All round, I think he had a very, very good day today. His build-up play, as you've seen there, You know, he's had 5 shots on target. I'm pretty sure that's got to be up there with the most he's had in a game. You know, fantastic touch there. His positioning, his movement, his link-up play, you know, he was finding himself more and more in the vital, dangerous areas that a Leeds number 9 should find themselves in, where they're more likely to score goals.
Is that something you think he hasn't done enough of this season, Jermaine, in terms of being a little bit more selfish in those attacking areas?
Absolutely. Only because Marcelo Bielsa wants a selfless striker. You know, he wants players that are going to work for the team, not necessarily for themselves. And, you know, I briefly had a chat with him after the Blackburn game and said to him, look, I'm not going to take anything away from what you're being told or taught, but just be a little bit more selfish. You know, that's ultimately you're getting judged on goals. You've got 14. This was prior to today. You've got 14. Try and build on that, you know.
What did he say?
He said, yes, Bex, no problem.
Famous 5.
6 of us, Jim.
What a famous 6, then?
Do you ever feel like we're living during a bad period in history?
Bring out the prisoner.
Hey, that's me.
You think I've lived up to my father's expectations?
That's gonna be a hard no.
Just setting up the music. Bard play party mix.
A bear has a long, long tail.
Skip.
Party, 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 everybody's at the
Stop.
party.
Could this be an opportunity here?
Want Sky TV on the go without using your data? Well, switch to Sky Mobile and never miss a moment. Watch Sky Sports Premier League action live wherever you want without using your data. Sky TV customers get unlimited streaming on Sky apps, only on Sky Mobile. Switch from £6 a month. Search Sky Mobile today.
Okay, don't go anywhere just yet, because Bielsa, El Loco and Leeds has exclusive interviews with Pep Guardiola, Mauricio Pochettino and players and coaches from Bielsa's native Argentina. Well, the pressure was certainly on tonight. Leeds responded and they're getting ever closer towards the Premier League. Bye for now.
Sky Sports Football. Feel it all.